everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Bears going up against the Huskies. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Chicago Bears and the Toronto Huskies. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Toronto ball club as they enter play here. An early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, second down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down. As we get a look at the defensive starters as secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Holding offense. A penalty is declined.
After the penalty, the offense now dealing with a 3rd and 19. So with this far to go, maybe they try something safe underneath. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down now after the pass completion.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. They come up in an offset eye. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And here's a look at the starting offense. Second down, 9 yards to go. Looking to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, snip it out, and finish it off.
They'll drop the throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Under pressure, and it's blocked. This will be picked up inside the 10.
Primary, as you well know, every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. Hope they didn't get too comfortable on the sideline. They had the 3 and out. The punt return for a touchdown. Boom, right back out there.
They're okay with that, though, because of what it led to. And let's face it, they keep a statistic, 4 3-and-outs. Most teams want to lead the league in those as well as in takeaways.
They'll be looking for another 3-and-out this time. And here now, the defensive starters.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
5 yards left for the offense. It's second down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Hopkins, the one receiver right.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the first down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and ended up making a really nice play. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So holding by the offense, and maybe now... Got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Here comes the Bears punter now. On for his second punt, and remember, his first one was blocked. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This will be fielded at the 17. What a spin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bears take over. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expect nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here comes the Bears punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. 23 yards on the play. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys. And
no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Huskies are happy to be sitting in the lead. The Bears won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Huskies taking the field for their opening drive. Great blocking on this long run. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. Now to late in the second. They're going to get to the QB once again. This will go for a loss of 8. That'll do it for us here in Orlando. Let's get you back up to Toronto, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles for the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker room.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 45 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Chicago first down. Fresh set of downs here.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
This will be caught at about the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman punching it in from a yard away. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They go play action here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's the option going right. He may try, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Their mobile quarterback, 15 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field, and of course for pass plays. With the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play. Came across and knocked it away.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And a gain there of 11 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner. Get him out in the flat.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
That's the second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do the...
And partner, this...